What's up, you guys? Brennan here, back with another video. Today we're going to be learning the song Time from Inception, which is by Hans Zimmer. This is definitely a highly requested one. I'm actually going to show you my own arrangement of this song, and I'm going to do it similar to my Interstellar tutorial for those who've watched that, where basically I start simple and then I do multiple variations that get harder and harder and harder. So that way everybody can play at a level they feel comfortable. You can just start with the easier variations, and then if you want to work your way up to the harder ones, then you can do that later in this video. Hence why it is going to be a long tutorial. But feel free, if you just want to learn those earlier sections and not get into the hard stuff, you're totally welcome to that as well. Before we get started, I do want to invite you to subscribe to my channel. If you guys like my content and you like my videos, it definitely helps me out a lot when you subscribe. So please consider subscribing to my channel. And with that, let's get right into the video. So before we get started, I'm going to play the entire arrangement from start to finish, including all the variations that you can learn in this video. basically, this song starts with like the foundation of 4 chords. A chord is a group of 2 or more keys that you play at the same time, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So basically, you're going to be doing this 4-chord pattern all throughout the song. It just builds and builds and builds. So you're starting with the same keys, and then you just add in more and more and more to the pattern. So you're going to start with your thumb, both thumbs here, one on A and one on C. Okay? Then your left pinky is going to hit E, and your right pinky is going to hit G. Then you jump down to your thumb on G and your thumb on B. And then your pinky goes down to D, and your 4th finger goes up to F sharp. Again at the same time. Next, you start over on the first one, A and C. Now the second chord is now different. You go down here with your pinky to C and up here with your pinky to B. Then you go back to this one, G and B, and then D and F sharp again. So all together, first section, A and C, E and G, G and B, D and F sharp. Second section, A and C again. This one changes, C and B, G and B again, and D and F sharp. And this is actually the shell of the song. So basically everything builds off of this single pattern. And when you do that, you want to count to 4 each time, like a 1, 2, 3, 4. So it'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, next part here. Now you do a little bit of a stretch in the left hand where your pinky and your thumb play the same key, A. This is called an octave because you're playing the same key up here as you are down here. Okay, so then, and your pinky and thumb in the right hand have to play C. So basically, remember how we started like this? We're just adding in extra keys. Like I said, that's the foundation. So now we're just adding in these pinkies. Earlier we were playing this, now we're playing this. And we're gonna add something else and play 2, 3, 4, just like we were counting in our head. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Then we move down here to our thumb and pinky on E and our thumb and pinky on G in the right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we move up here to thumbs on G and pinky and thumb on B. Because remember earlier we're doing this, now we're just adding in those pinkies. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down here, pinky and thumb on F sharp and pinky and thumb on D. 2, 3, 4. And then the next section, you go back to these two, just like we did the foundation earlier. Now we had the pinkies exactly the same. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we do that different chord where our thumb and pinky move down to C and our thumb and pinky in the right hand move up to B. The rest is the same. Then you go to these two again, G and B, and D and F sharp. So all together, that entire 2 sections would be like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next section. 1, 2, 3, 4. New chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, Okay, next section here. Now we get into a little bit of now we're building off of that foundation more. And the left hand is gonna now, instead of playing it together, you're gonna rock back and forth. Starting at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Same for the other ones. Okay, so then the right hand is going to do something a little bit different. It's a little bit harder. So we're going to have a little chord formation here, right? So it's playing these keys at the same time. That's a chord. So you're going to start with thumb on C, pointer finger on E, and pinky on C. You do this 1, 2, then you move down with your fourth finger to B, A, keeping the other two the same. So it's do, 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 do. Then we jump up here to our thumb on G, our pointer finger on B, and our pinky on G. And we go G, G. So we do that twice, just like the earlier one. And then we jump down to F sharp, and then we jump down to E. So that's, remember, you're keeping these two keys the same. So the first one was C, E, C, twice, B, A, jump up to G, G, F sharp, E. Okay, then we do a similar pattern where our thumb jumps down to B, pointer finger on D, and pinky on B. And we go B, B, down to A, G. Okay, then the last one here is thumb on A, pointer finger on D, and fourth finger on F sharp, and you go F sharp, E, and then just these two alone. So it's, okay, then the next section, so just like we were doing that foundation, it's the same. On the first one, now this one's different. We move up to thumb on B, pointer finger on E, and pinky on B, and we go B, B, A, G. Then the rest is the same. We jump down here again. This one's the same. So all together, first section, up to G, down to this, down to D. Starts over, different one, down to B, down to D. Okay, so feel free to pause the video and practice that. And again, it's the same pattern like we were doing earlier, where it's this one, right? Because those are the same chords, right? They're the same group of keys at the same time, right? And then it changes to B, back down to B. See how it kind of sounds the same? We're just adding more of a pattern to it. So now let's put both of these hands together. So remember, in the left hand we're doing 8 times, right? So how this rhythm is going to go is, so think of your thumb as coming in between. These are playing at the same time, and then the thumb comes in between. So that's together, 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 together. Now we move down to E, and we move up to G in the right hand. Same pattern. same thing. First one's the same. Together, 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 together. New one. Okay, so then in the left hand we jump down to C, remember? And in the right hand we move up to B. Then we go to G. Down to D. Okay, so I'm going to play through it without talking here, just so you can watch the two sections. Section 1. The rhythm for a second here, it's the same 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then when you switch, you need to be switching on 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So in other words, you don't want to pause between them. You don't want to go like, go, oh, because then your timing is going to be off. So that's just a practice thing. The more you do it, the more you can hit it right on 1. Okay, so now the next variation is a little bit harder. So we're keeping the right hand exactly the same, so that's good. Now the left hand, instead of going back and forth, you're going to actually do a new pattern where you go A, and you do the middle one, E, A, E. And you go bottom, middle, top, middle. 4 times. And you do that really fast. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you jump down to E, same thing right before we were doing this. Now we add in the middle key, which is B, and we do it bottom, middle, top, middle, 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Same thing with G, and the middle key is D. 1, 2, 3, 4. Same thing with D, and the middle key is A. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next section, A is the same. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the new one is C, and the middle key is G. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next one, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So feel free to practice through that. So all together, I'll play through it without talking. Okay, so now the timing is going to be like this. So it's very similar to last section where we go same time and then the E is coming in between. Now, instead of the A. So it's together, E, together, E, together, E, together, E. So it's together, E, together, E, together, E, together, E. Without me talking? Okay, next one. So it's the same thing where now the B is coming in between. Together, 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 together. Down to G, same thing. Together, 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 together. Down to D. Together, 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 an A again. Now we jump up to this new one. Then to G again. Down to D. So I'm going to go through it without talking, just nice and slow so you can hear how it sounds. Okay, so now we get on to a harder and harder variation here. So we get into a little bit of a new part, and it is going to be very tricky. So in the right hand, we're going to be playing octaves again, where we have C and C. So it goes C, B, A, F sharp. Okay, then it goes up to G, F sharp, E, B. The first one. Then we go B, A, G, E, F sharp, E, D, B. A little bit tricky. Then the second section, this one's the same. C, B, A, F sharp. Now this next one's different. We jump up to B, A, G, F sharp. Then we jump down to B, A, G, E, F sharp, E, D, B. All together. I know this is going to take a little bit of practice, so I know I'm going through it quick, but I'm going to play through it here. Next section. New one. Okay, I know that's tricky, so feel free to pause this video and practice that for a bit. Okay, now the left hand's even harder. Doing a series of patterns, which is called an arpeggio. You've probably heard me mention this in other videos. It's because it's used in a lot of music. Basically, an arpeggio is a broken chord. So instead of playing it like this, together, you're separating it. And you can do that all up and down the piano. It's the same three keys, A, C, E, A, C, so the pattern for this is you're going to take each chord and you're going to do it as an arpeggio. So you start with your pinky on A, and the pattern basically skips C and it goes to E. So it's A, E, A, and then that way your third finger can cross over easily to C, E, A, E, C. And a good way to keep track of this, because it's the same three keys, it really doesn't matter which order you play it in, to be honest. It matters how many times you play it. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you could, if you wanted to, go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, doesn't matter. Or you could go back down to E and C, doesn't matter. As long as you're hitting A, C, E 8 times, if that makes sense. Hopefully I'm not being confusing. But if you want to do it how I do it in my arrangement, it's basically, it's A, E, A, C, E, A, E, C. Ending on that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then you do it a second time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's okay. Then we do the same thing with all the other chords. So we go down to pinky on E, pointer finger on B, thumb on E, cross over with your third finger to G, B, E, back down to B, G. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then you do the same thing with G. So you have your pinky on G, pointer finger on D, thumb on G, cross over with your third to B, D, G, back down to D, B. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last one is the D, and we do the same pattern. Pinky on D, pointer finger A, thumb D, cross over now to F sharp, pointer finger A, thumb on D, back down to A, F sharp. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now the next section is all the same except for that new chord. So then it goes back to the A that we learned. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now this one is a new chord. So then we jump down to pinky on C, pointer finger on G, thumb on C, cross over to E, up to G, C, back to G, back to E. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then the last two are the same as earlier. G, and D. So all together, this pattern now, I know it's getting hard here if you're up for the challenge. So starting on first section, A, repeat, E, repeat, G, repeat, D, repeat. Section 2, A, repeat. Now to C, repeat, G, repeat, D, repeat. Okie doke. So now we're going to put this hard part in the right hand with this hard part in the left hand. So it's, and then you move down to A, so the A's are playing at the same time. And then you press F sharp and E at the same time. Okay? So it's a little bit tricky. I'm going to try and do it slow. Okay. Then we jump up to G and down to E. So you move to this F sharp when you're hitting the B. together, and then you move to the B's together. So that's okay. Then you stay on this one, right? And you move to G in your left hand. So it goes together. And then when we do G here is when we're starting on the second round of the G. And then these two, E and D. Okay, so your hands are going to get a little crowded here. So basically it's together. And then you're hitting G and G at the same time. And then we hit E, right? But then our thumb and our pointer finger are hitting D and G. So it's, again, really tricky. So it's then lastly, we move up to F sharp and our pinky down to D. So we move to E when we hit this A. Then we hit the D's at the same time. So it's the same thing where our hands kind of cross. So it's okay, second section. This one's now the same. Remember, A. Okay, but then we jump up to the B and we move down to the C. So this is together. And then when we hit the G is when we move to A. Then the G and the C together. And then the F sharp and the G. And then we go down to D. Then the D is the same. Okay, so all together I'm going to play through it without talking. Second section. So now the next section is, luckily that left hand stays exactly the same. You don't change at all. Now the right hand does an entirely new part where it's, and basically you repeat this last one a lot. So when we put both hands together, it's going to make more sense. But basically you go C, B, B, E, A, B, B, and then you repeat E, A, B, B. And then you change it slightly to then A, G, A, 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 G, A, 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 G, A, 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 G, A, A. Okay, so it's so it's ending on the E. And then the entire thing repeats. So it's gonna make more sense, like I said, when we put both hands together. Don't really worry about how much you're counting because the left hand is gonna be leading the show, and I'll show you when you move to that G and A. So we're gonna put both hands together in this part. So a good little rule of thumb for this part is every time you play a key in the right hand, you also wanna be playing a key in the left hand. So in other words, there's no keys by themselves. Each part in the right hand matches perfectly with the keys in the left hand. There's no keys playing by themselves. So I'm gonna go through and just play it nice and slow how it's gonna go. Now, when you move to this D is right when you switch to the new pattern of G and A. Now we start over. Remember, the left hand's a little bit different on the second half. Switch to C. Next part, G and A. Okay, feel free to practice that because I know it's a little bit tricky. Okay, so the last hard variation here is just a slight tweak in the right hand. Left hand stays exactly the same on that arpeggio. Now remember when you were doing basically, we're going to take that exact same pattern and just add a little tweak to it. So now I'm going to go. Starting at the top, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's the same keys, but I'm just adding the top to the bottom little pattern. Same thing on the next part. G, F sharp, E, B. Next part, E, A, G, E. Next part, F sharp, E, D, B. Next part. Now this part changes. We go to B, A, G, F sharp. Then down here, B, A, G, E, F sharp, E, D, B. Okay, so all together without me talking, it's gonna go like this. Really hurt your pinky, so good luck, guys. Okay, so now we're gonna put both hands together here on this part. So essentially the timing is the same as you were doing earlier, you're just adding in that extra pattern. So it's really the exact same, but I'm gonna go through it just to be thorough. So here we go. So remember how earlier I said no key in that last section plays without a key by itself? It's the same thing for here. So basically every time you're hitting a key in the right hand, you want to also be hitting a key in the left hand at the same time. So it exactly matches up with each other. So here we go. Okay, then we move. then the next section. Jump way up here. G and B. So full speed without me talking should sound like this. Then we get to a last little part here where the left hand stays the same. It gets a little bit quieter. And then we go a new part in the right hand. We go B, E. Then we go F sharp, B. Then we go A, D. Then we go E, A. And that repeats. B, E, F sharp, B, A, D, E, A. I actually play it higher up on the piano, sorry about that. So you were playing it the same keys, just higher up. So it's gonna go like this. In the left hand first. And when you hit A for the second time is when you come in on the B. And you switch to the E at the same time that you hit the E. So it's... Then next one. Same time. Same time. Next one. Same time. Same time. Last one. Same time. Then that whole thing repeats. Okay, then you move higher up the piano and you repeat that second section that we did where we do the C's and A's. So you do C and A with both hands. Then you do E with your left hand, octaves, and G with your right hand. Okay, then G and B together. Okay, then we go F sharp and D. Next part, C and A together. Then our right hand moves to B and our left hand moves to C. G and B together. And then F sharp and D. All right, guys, and there you have it. That is the entire piano tutorial for my arrangement of Time from the movie Inception. This is honestly one of my all-time favorite songs. I remember being a teenager and watching YouTube videos of people playing this song and wondering one day if I'd be able to. So I'm super excited to be able to teach you guys so that you can enjoy playing it also. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to my channel. It does help me out a lot here on YouTube. Don't forget to create art, and I'll see you guys next time.